And we are live. Let's share this mamma jamma around on this Memorial Day show. You guys ready? Bob entered the chat. Mr. Bluebell.
How we doing?
Buddy, good. We're going to roll intro, man.
I'm actually just heading out with the dogs here for a little bit.
Hello, friends, fans, and faithful followers. Welcome to this version, the Monday night live, the Memorial Day Monday Night Live, where we sit at the intersection of tracking and training, and we bring it to you the only way we know how. No nonsense and no politics. Gentlemen, how are we this holiday?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing good. We've got I'm okay, but boy, oh boy, do I have a headache. So if I look a little out of sorts and more than normal, I guess I should add, well, that's probably why. Man, I got a headache. But had a great day today. Got the lawn mowed, got Baru on the line, got Rizzo on the line. Both looked pretty good to me for where they're each at in their development. And we have shows coming up with PA this coming weekend. And then Michigan a couple of weeks after that. But tonight's show is focused on largely focused on the PA event. We'll see if Ralph joins us. Ralph and I chatted earlier today. If he's able to jump on, we have some testing conversations, some pretty specific testing conversations we want to have too, and how it applies to Pennsylvania. But before we kick in, I just want to just remind everybody, like I just said, we have We have Pennsylvania, May 29, 30, and 31, this coming weekend. We have Michigan, June 12 and 13, a couple weeks after that, middle of June. Then all the way out in August, which is not all the way out anymore since we are nearly in June. August, middle August, 13, 14, 15. Geez, those dates escape me exactly, but right in there that weekend, Tennessee. And we'll get jiving on Tennessee promo and stuff. Tony Hayes, if you're listening, I'm going to reach out to you this week. We'll chat about that. We'll start getting some promos going for Tennessee to make that. That's an inaugural seminar, inaugural state for us. So we absolutely want our best foot forward there, as we want our best foot forward in everything we do. So that's not to diminish or minimize any of the other events or anything else that we do. We're always striving to put our best foot forward. So on that note, best foot forward. I've said this 100 times on several streams. And I'm just going to say it again here. And Mike, I look forward to some of the details that you might have, and I could probably pull some of those details up while you're chatting. But Mike Beck, and how do you say Lauren's last name?
Good luck.
DePanflis.
D.
Okay,
Lauren D.
So Michael Beck and Lauren DePanflis have done just a first-class job of promoting the PA event to the point where we got to have some conversations about how utilizing those efforts more so than just PA to the point where it's going to be I suspect, the biggest attended event this year. I don't remember what Alabama's attendance was, but I think PA is going to eclipse it pretty notably. And we'll see what Tennessee turns out to be. Michigan's looking a little looking like it's going to be pretty intimate. But PA is going to be off scale high in terms of attendance. And you guys have done a great job there, Mike.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think what helps us here in PA is it's still fairly new, and we have a bunch of very hungry new trackers that are up and coming. They want the knowledge. They want to do this the right way, and I think that helps us put it together.
Well, I think you're probably right. Do you have to be registered at all, Mike, in Pennsylvania to track?
No, just required to buy a hunting license.
Just have to have a hunting license.
Hunting license as of right now, yeah.
I was just curious. Michigan, you're required to be registered, and every year I do a FOIA request from the Department of Natural Resources to see what our registered numbers were. And I about fell out of my chair when I got the results for 2025 season. It's a 2-year registration. And in 2024, when I inquired, there were 241 registered trackers. When I inquired for this past season, 2025, that number exploded to 450 something. People registered. Not all of them are tracking,
Right. And to what level all of them are tracking, who knows?
That's right. But just having that number of trackers, or at least people interested in tracking, like Bob's tracking right now.
I'm just walking the dogs. So.
Yeah, that's okay, buddy. That's good. You just I don't know.
I look for Pennsylvania to probably eventually do that. Knowing Pennsylvania and the lawmakers and the way our commissioners work, eventually they will dip in on that and require a fee, most likely, and have us all register.
Yeah, hopefully not. You're right, Bob. But I don't know why. I mean, when we went to off lead, in 2023. That's when they required the registration, but there's no associated fee with it, not yet anyway. And
Right.
just how things go, I'm sure it's coming at some point, and I don't
Mhm.
mind it if it's reasonable. But I won't complain about it. But um, speaking of that, Mike, do you have any information or any update? I've been meaning to touch base with Joe on. Oh no, never mind. I'm confusing states. I was thinking about the off
Oh,
lead
for Ohio?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I, I don't know. For Pennsylvania, I'll probably be long gone by the time that's ever even discussed. So
yeah, yeah. It's
takes them a while up here to get things rolling.
well, it's not just up
Which,
there, particularly on that topic for
yeah,
the northern states. It's really it's stigmatized so badly
right,
because it's grossly misunderstood.
right.
So getting everyone to understand that is the issue. So I guess I should do introductions for those who don't know. We have Michael Beck, who I've been having a conversation with here, the curator of the PA event in ABTA judge. And speaking of judging, Mike, you've done a ton of tests already this spring. How many have you done?
I have. What's that?
How many have you done? Do you know?
I think we're right about 10. I think I did 10 over the last 2 months.
Yep. So you got some good teams out there because I get all your feedback and info as we to share on Facebook page. So I haven't done any other than Oklahoma. So I've got to get. We'll start pumping that promo out. So we have Michael Beck, bottom left, our resident judging expert, testing expert, Ralph Bennett. Posing corner from him, Kenny K-Dog Mullins in his grandpa's rocker.
Yeah. I'm
And
actually at my mom and dad's house.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I
And
appreciate
then,
you representing there, Kenny.
he is.
Yeah.
Camo tracks, he is, Ralph.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Trying to get brownie points.
Yeah.
I got in trouble earlier.
Something you didn't do?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's right. Well, maybe we'll have to hear about that. But then we have in the bottom right corner, taking us for a walk in the woods with his four-legged furry friends, is Bob Plubell, another PA judge, and will be actively engaged in PA. And Ralph's going to keep him pretty busy, I understand. So we'll hear more about that from Ralph. But guys, thanks for joining, Bob. I think this is your debut show, isn't it, Bob?
No, I worked last year at Pennsylvania.
No, but I mean you this live stream. I think you've this is your.
Well, I've been on a couple different, not
Oh, have you?
this particular one, but a couple different ones throughout time here. So
Okay.
it's just hard. It's hard. Usually I'm working. By the time I get in, it's too late, or I forget about it usually. Come on, you two.
Yeah, believe me, I get it. It life happens as we all know. That's for sure. So
One of the things you had mentioned about the PA thing, I think one of the things that's really helping that is the PA blood tracker site. I mean, we went from we put about 2,500 people on that last year, so that's a lot of people talking.
2,500, Bob.
Yeah, we increased our numbers on that Facebook group. That many people.
Yeah, and to give a little history, what was it, Bob? 2 years ago, there really wasn't a page. That page was there, but it hadn't been active.
Yep. Yeah.
And we had our event in Clearfield.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and that's when we discussed doing that. And these, Ralph and I worked with these guys, but we're not going to take the credit. They took it and ran with it.
Well, I remember that because you had your event in Clearfield, and that was in the spring, if I remember right, or earlier in the year. And then you followed up with the Lancaster event, and I went to that one. And Mike, that's when I met you and a lot of you've seen a lot of the people out there. And of course, we've been following each other's pages. But I know that's when it really seemed like there was a lot of activity and ramp up in focus on growing that page. And boy, it sounds like it really blew up. So that's great. Oh, Bob went. Bob froze up. So must be down in the PA Valley. But so I wanted to just talk a little bit, and we'll try to keep because it is a holiday, and it is still awful nice outside with lots of daylight left. We'll keep the show relatively appropriately. I won't say succinct, but we won't look to drag it out. But I do want to make it meaningful in some good content. So, what I was hoping to do, Mike, is have you talk a little bit about the work that you've done for PA. How, some of the things that you think that you think help make it what all accounts is going to be a resounding success, at least in terms of attendance. And then what can those who are attending expect from the show, and what can those who are not attending expect to be missing out on? And then, Ralph, I want to get into what you and I talked about earlier today. Just have you talk about the testing, because there's some pretty significant testing things going on there, and there's some pretty notable implications for our judges' progression that I think are it would be great to talk about, at least to tease a little bit and lay the groundwork for a later show, a few weeks out, a month or so out, whenever it's going to be, to where we just feature the whole show around testing and judging, and we'll get Landon on, who's the judging coordinator, and I think that'll be a really fun show to do. Just really dive into it particularly with some of the work that you're doing around the testing, and just how things have, I'll say, rebounded in that arena.
Yep.
So, Mike, tell us about PA, man. What look. So we have. Let me just lay this groundwork too. We have a separate group chat set up for all of the events we're doing, and so we have the PA event. That's obviously the most active because it's the next event. But my goodness, Mike is incredibly active in that event. So in that chat, and I know that your guys are having sub meetings off from the primary meetings, which is exactly what should be happening. Is where the meat and potatoes of the work gets done. But you carrying the mail there, man. And there's not a day goes by that we don't see something from Michael Beck, usually multiple things in that event chat. So tell us about it, man.
Like I said, I think a lot of it is there's a lot of hungry people in this area wanting to learn. They're seeking information, and I think it might be because I answer the phone. I respond back to these people with open arms and welcome them into this beginning of a journey.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to a lot of folks, and I think that's the big thing. I'm not here gatekeeping. I'm here welcoming them in, and I wouldn't say taking them under my wing, but a lot of them I'm taking them under my wing and at least getting them started, pointing them in the right direction.
Yeah.
At least a direction. I'm at least pointing them in a direction. Sometimes it might not be the right one, but we're getting them started.
I would say more often than not it is. But I mean, you said something I think is huge there. It's just welcoming, and that's completely in line with the ABTA's philosophy and mission and stuff, is to be welcoming, not exclusive, but inclusive. Not looking to gatekeep. Looking, if people are willing to invest the time and interest, we as the ABTA staffers and members are willing to help yourself, so to speak. And
right. And all of them don't stick with it. They start seeing the work that's involved, the time, and that's okay. At least they tried, and maybe they won't be able to do it as much as some of us, but if they're doing something, they're at least working that dog. They got a goal somewhere. And I think the thing though too is I welcome these people in humbly. You know, it's not about me. It's not about what I do. It's about helping them get to where they want to be.
Yep. Yep. Well, we all started somewhere.
Right.
Kenny and Ralph. I mean, when Jesus quit doing it, they took over.
And that, not to get on that soapbox, but that is kind of why I am driven to be doing what I am doing. Because whenever I started, there wasn't anyone in Pennsylvania that wanted to help.
Yeah, which isn't uncommon, but so that's great. And like I say, you know, my involvement with my local network, and then the ABTA and even the UBT. You know, when I started there before I became active here. It it flattened the curve significantly. And I still don't know what I don't know. I'm learning something constantly.
Right. I learn every day, and I'm very blessed in that because I'm able to watch all these other dogs work.
Yep.
They're looking at me for knowledge and help, right? To help them. At the end of it, I'm learning more from them, I think, at times.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sitting back able to observe everything and then apply it with other folks and other people and other dogs and my own.
Yeah. Well, learning is bi-directional. I mean, it
absolutely.
And if you don't think that it is, you're probably not one that should be trying to share knowledge or teach.
Yeah, you're cheating yourself.
Cheating yourself, yeah, that's for sure. Potentially cheating those you're trying to share because you're limiting your ability to share because you're limiting your ability to grow. So,
right.
So, Mike, walk us through some of the the process and flow and the outlook. I mean, you have some speakers or a speaker, and if you want to hear that, that's fine. And is it too late to register, Mike, for those that might want to come after listening to the show?
Look at Ralph for that.
Too late to register for an event seminar and testing. We got to really be mindful, but they can still register for the seminar, right?
Sure. Yeah, we still got some room. Absolutely. We still got room. We'll have food.
I'll figure out the testing. We'd have 2 people sign up today, about 20 minutes ago.
Right.
Did you? Yeah, and I want to talk about that a little bit. I'm pulling up the
redoing the schedule right now.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we know we know that's fluid right up until the 11th hour, typically, particularly when it's a big event like this. So, Mike, tell us about it, man. What's the flow and play look like?
Yeah, it started. The planning, in a sense, started at the end of last year's event. To start looking ahead. I will say this year was easier because I've had some experience in setting up an event. I was able to, spread it out a little bit more and knew what was coming, knew what I needed to do, knew the phone calls. But now that we are 4 days away, the anxiety, the pre-event anxiety hit in probably about a week ago. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? How are we going to cover that? Yep.
Oh, we know.
It's here. So
yeah, we know.
Oh yeah, blah blah blah. But anyway, it's here, and it's going to be great. Mother Nature's actually looking like she's going to take care of us this year and throw some nice weather. It's looking to be mid to high 60s for daytime temperatures. No moisture, no rain.
Beautiful.
Looks like we're going to be dry.
Oh my goodness.
With that being said, she can completely flip that on us, and we might see snowflakes by next Saturday. I don't know.
Did you see Ralph's head snap when you said snowflake?
Did you see that? I seen him the other night. 2 nights ago, there was snowflakes flying out my window. 2 nights ago. But now it looks like she's on her meds. for this next week anyway, and hopefully we'll have some good weather.
I mean, 60 degrees would be great for testing. It's
Yeah.
just pleasant, man.
So Friday we have obviously testing set up. We have quite a few tests coming in. I think there's a total of, correct me, Ralph, now there would be, 22 or 23 tests?
23.
23 currently signed up for over the weekend. That includes 3 finish lines. We're looking forward to running them. It will be my first time, judging one of them.
Ralph's going to talk us through a lot of that here in a little bit.
But yeah, testing is going to be Friday. Saturday, seminar day. The doors are going to open up at 8 a.m. We are going to promptly get started at 9. Going to be talking about a lot of good stuff. Tracking and dogs. What more can you ask for? Teaching our dogs to do things, teaching handlers to do stuff. We're going to do a lot of outside scenario-based training. I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be a big group there, and that may pose some challenges, but we're going to get through it. I think we're going to be, definitely at least 30, 31, 32 signed up, right?
Yeah, I don't know when Kayla updated the master roster here last, but there's 28 seminar registrations, and it shows 20 tests. So I think
that's increased a little.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's going to be a big group, and we're going to get through it. It's going to be interesting to watch everything go down. I'm a hands-on type of guy, so that's where I like to be, is in the field doing stuff. I'd rather be doing that than standing around talking about it.
Yeah.
I would rather show somebody how to do it than to talk about it.
Yep.
There's going to be lots of great food. We're going to serve a light breakfast that morning, Saturday morning, just because of the early start. Nothing fancy. Don't come expecting, made to order omelets or anything like that. We're going to have some wraps, maybe some breakfast wraps and stuff like that.
Stuff, yeah.
The lunch, we have a great spread planned out for lunch. There's going to be some smoked pork, smoked mac and cheese, hot sausage, pierogi casserole, some fried chicken, along with all the sides that you can ask for. Just picked up some pumpkin roll this morning. I know Ralph will be happy for that.
Pumpkin roll sounds good.
Yep. Good. Homemade and donated to us for the event. Gobs, of course, the Western Pennsylvania gob that nobody knows anything about, but they'll be here. Guest speaker, we have Shane Simpson coming in to talk about the Tracker app. That's a pretty big deal.
And analytics, right?
I think that's what he's talking about. I don't know. He's going to talk about something.
Yeah. I think I thought it was the analytics, but yeah. Right. So that'll be fun having Shane
Lauren's
there.
been handling talking back and forth to him, so I'm just letting that happen. I don't need my fingers in it. He is asking about turkeys, though, now all of a sudden, and I've stopped looking for turkeys for about 2 weeks, so I may have to take some time out and go tie one to a tree for him.
He was talking about coming to Michigan and, trying to time it up with a turkey hunt, but our seasons are over by then. I offered up my property, but my son-in-law has been having a heck of a time.
I believe Saturday is the last day. The day of our seminar is the last day. I know where there's a bunch. I just haven't been keeping tabs on them.
Yeah.
And they could have moved around. It gets pretty tough here in Pennsylvania for these for the Thunder chickens.
Yep.
There's a lot of people out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
Yep.
But yeah, we're excited to have him. I think that's a pretty big deal to have him coming and
yeah, it'll be cool. It certainly will be very cool. But so if you are attending the PA event, be prepared to be active. I guess I'll say that just based on the format, the work that we've done in terms of I'll say the standard ABTA format, at least for the first half of the day, can be pretty active. Um, you know, and obviously there's some autonomy and flexibility based on the needs of the minute and the moment the needs and wants of the attendees. That matters. Um, but it's I'm not going to go as far as say is it soup to nuts, but it covers a lot of elements of the things you experience throughout a track line in an interactive way. You'll be talking about scent theory, but you're not going to be doing it in the classroom staring at the back of somebody's head while somebody stands in front of the classroom whipping you with a PowerPoint presentation. You're going to be talking about scent theory in real application on the line watching a dog run, with someone with a confetti cannon. And then if you have what I did in Oklahoma, you have your dead downwind scent huffer. So as you move into different terrain features, you can hit that and see how the scent is moving, and always talking about that, and even though the wind's not blowing, air is always moving. So it's just fun in that format to be able to have them in the moment dynamic conversations. And what's fun about it, and where the fluidity and flexibility comes in, is as you're running real dogs on it, the dog might do something that can prompt an immediate conversation or immediate point of discussion, which you wouldn't get in a slide presentation. There's a place for classroom style slide presentations. I wholly believe that. But if you can take what you could glean from a slide presentation and do it in a dynamic way in actual application on a condensed line, it just expands the possibilities of learning, because you're actually seeing it and it provides opportunities that you might not have otherwise had. It's just really fun, I think. So be prepared if you're going to PA.
Yes, come prepared to be outside.
Bring your sunblock, bring your shaded umbrella hat, whatever it is, your parasol, Mike.
Good
whatever. Bring Jared's parasol for him.
Right.
Be prepared to be outside. And I will tell you, the biggest bang, what really puts these things over the top is, no matter the format, is the attendees' engagement. So attendees, if you engage, ask the questions. Now, when I say engage, I don't mean sit in the back and pull out your phone and start showing everybody all of the deer you recovered last season. That's not what the events are for. Do that afterwards.
We can do that afterwards. We're going to have time to do that afterwards.
When I say engage, man, ask the question, challenge. What do you mean by that? Where did you get that information? Those are fair questions. And that's where that engagement comes from. And I never, hey, think about it like this. Or have you thought about it like that? There are no absolutes. We all know that. But that participant engagement can really put it over the top, I think, in terms of the quality. I did a woods walk the other day when I was laying in line, talking about what people want to see at events. We think we know, as people who put on events, what we like to talk about. We think we know what attendees want to see, but what do you? In the attendees are the ones who determine the value. It's up to us to deliver value, but they determine if there was value or not.
That's what's going to make this special too, because I know there's somebody showing up that doesn't even have a dog yet. Again, we had that last year.
Good.
To somebody that's already well over a couple hundred recoveries. I know in Florida, that might happen in a year, but in Pennsylvania, it takes a couple years.
Oh yeah.
because
Yep.
of the way we do things up here. It's a little different. So that's going to have its own separate value right there, just because of the dynamic that we're going to have at the
The
event.
breadth of skill levels is going to add a dynamic. So yeah. And the cool thing is that 200 recovery guy can contribute to the conversation. You
Right.
know,
But he can also learn something from the guy
yeah,
without a dog.
he certainly could.
Right. But yeah, we got lots of giveaways. We got a lot of great donations from different places and different people. Uh, just to hit on a few of them, Lion Country Supply came through for us again. Gave us a bunch of stuff to give away. Gun Dog, they
Yep.
gave a nice gift certificate for this year's event. Uh, Conkeys Outdoors, they gave a nice gift card. A local archery shop here donated a crossbow. We're giving away a crossbow. I hope I don't win it, but
Yeah.
it's going to be somebody's by the end of the day. You know, Petland of Norwin, Ted Karcher's store, Ted and Bonnie. He's coming through again big for us. There's going to be dog food, samples of this, samples of that. And he's also giving away a Garmin 550 Pro, the trainer collar.
No kidding.
And there's going to be a bunch of other stuff. I know the ABTA is bringing a basket, and I have boxes of stuff here. You know, the little things, little door prizes and raffle prizes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to walk away with something, maybe a little knowledge, maybe a full belly, maybe a crossbow.
If you don't walk away with knowledge or full belly, that's largely your fault.
That's not going to be my fault. You can see Ralph for that. But yeah, no, just come prepared. Come prepared. Come with an open mind, and it's going to be a good time.
And be ready to engage in an outdoor environment.
For the testers, prepare like you would going to a regular track. That's all I can say there.
Yep.
Take it like it's a real track.
Well,
prepare yourself mentally.
That's a great segue. So, Ralph, like I say, you and I spoke a little bit earlier today about testing and the plan and sort of bigger picture. We'll have a whole separate show on details of big picture, but go ahead and share your thoughts and the things that we talked about in terms of the testing and judges progression and stuff.
Well, we got some finished tests this seminar, so we're going to be doing some in the field. I'm not going to say apprentice because these guys are not apprentices, but they're going to be doing things, like the finish lines. We're going to be running those with some guidance from me, so these guys are going to get a belly full of the upper level testing, which will allow them to keep moving up the capability ladder. And by the time we're done, the started guys will be doing season tests, the season guys will be doing finish tests, and there's probably enough knowledge that it wouldn't take long before some of the guys doing the finish, they could help and contribute on the elite test at some point pretty quick.
I think so too. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest, a little excited because we don't see a lot of, or at least I don't see a lot of progression up the ladder. They do a lot of season, but getting to the finish level, I think we're there this week, and that'll happen with every single judge we have. That's kind of cool.
They'll be advanced. So let me just set this up, and now I'm getting excited about it. Hell, I may have to come to Pennsylvania. So when you go through the apprenticeship program, we'll call it that, as a judge, you start out as the starter level, our early level, starter level, and then we have a defined process, a documented process, to get you to do season level, which is obviously our level 2, and started and season tests can be run as private tests. Any judge can run those upon request from a handler, registered, and all of the process must be followed there. But finish level tests can only be run at events. They can't be run as a private test because it's the level 3 test. It's an advanced test. So that in itself makes it harder to progress from a seasoned judge to a finish level qualified judge, because your opportunity is
Plus, you got to have 2 judges.
Plus, you have to have 2 judges on a finish level test. So you can move from started to season pretty, I don't want to say easily because it's work, but there's a process for it. I mean, and you can apply for an expedited approval. And so I did that last year because I wanted to be seasoned level before the Michigan event last year. And my God, I wanted to strangle Kenny and Dakota. They freaking dragged me through a goddamn knothole on that. I'm like, you freaking guys, what the hell more do you want?
And throw the Garmin down through the woods.
Yeah, my point to that is this? It's no joke. I mean, once you do either the standard process, which is defined. And part of that process can be judging at events like this, which is really the best way, because you're getting that hands-on experience. You're laying the line. You've got the guy who's laid 100 of them already. You have lots of help, and you're getting that direct mentorship. Okay, that's really the best way, I think. That's my opinion. But if you don't, you can go through the documented process without going to an event. And or you can apply for the expedited, and the expedited version is it's no friggin' joke. Good Lord, I'm like, what the heck? But it was good because it uncovered some things, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Shut up, So I'd go out and do it again, or correct the shortfall, and I got through it, but it was no joke, man. And
I'm excited that my current apprentice Clayton Johnson from North Carolina is going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be up here all weekend.
Yeah,
that's huge for him.
He'll
That's
get
a good opportunity for him.
But then you have
Hang on a minute. Say that again.
Clayton.
Yeah.
Johnson. He's my judge apprentice. You didn't know that?
Well, no, I didn't. Well, I mean, I knew, but what is that? We need.
It's just exciting that he's coming. That he can tag along and
at least shadow some lines, probably. But yeah. So take away. That's okay, Ralph. We'll get it. Take away. We'll sidebar on that one. Let's put a pin in that one and circle back to it, as they say in the corporate world. But talking about the finish lines, there's Bob back on his porch. Hi, Bob.
Hi. Sorry, I lost signal there.
Yeah, I figured as much. That's okay, man. But talking about the finish lines, we have people like Mike and Joe who I'm going to mute you, Bob. Who have a ton of started and season level tests under their belt, and are truly capable and competent, I guess I should say, of doing the finish level. So by the PA event being what it is, and setting it up to where they can get some mentorship on that advanced level line, that's a huge deal, and it just makes us stronger as an organization and as judges to set up for the next event where we can now potentially accommodate more finished level lines or advanced level lines if there's interest, because the advanced level lines are no joke. Like Ralph said, it takes two judges. It takes the main judge has got to be finished level certified. The accompanying judge doesn't have to be finished level certified, but that's a way for them to become finished level certified, is by accompanying lines. And Ralph is working that out, setting that up with Landon. But what that does, though, is it just makes us more flexible and able to accommodate these advanced level lines. I mean, three of them in PA to me is a big deal, but they're a big deal because are they hard to judge? No, they're not hard to judge, but the setup is what's so critically important about it. It's got to be set up and constructed correctly, and with your attributes placed properly and the right attributes placed in the right way, and the line's got to be laid in such a way that it can get approved by the committee or the event judge in the case of finish level lines, because no line is run, no matter the level, no line is run without it being approved by either testing committee member for the start of the season or an event judge for the advanced level finished and elite. We haven't even talked about multi-dog, but that's kind of a different, little bit of a different animal, but largely a season level line, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm babbling, but to me, I get excited about it because Pennsylvania is going to be a great springboard for judging advancement.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, all the judges, they're either going to be judging. Well, not either. They're going to be judging and apprenticing for the next level up test. So it isn't going to be just judging. You're going to be accompanying the judge on some of these to where, like I said, they're going to have a belly full of judging and a belly full of apprenticing at the next level. Every single judge is going to experience that. So it's going to be a wild weekend. There's not going to be much time to sit around.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't coffee and donut testing day. This is a full tilt boogie. Get your line laid, get on to the next one. Grab a bottle of water between tracks or something. But yeah,
No, you better carry your water with you.
You better carry your water. Okay. Yeah. No, it's really exciting. I mean, and we got some really good. Bob, if you there you go, Bob. You're off mute. Okay. And we have some really solid, just good people going to be there all the way around in terms of judges and attendees. So, my buddy Andrew from New York's coming down, Michael. So treat Andrew well. He was in Michigan last year just to pick up a pup from Ron, and ended up hanging out for a while, and then he ended up.
I was glad to hear from him when he decided to come.
Yeah, me too. I told him, I said, "Man, you've got him
all squared away."
He kept saying, "Man, you guys, I've learned so much." I says, "Look, just wait till you go to an event. You need to go to PA. It's closer. It's going to be huge." And I told him, so your ears are going to be pinned back. So be prepared.
Right. Because I think
just a little bit. He was stepped into Michigan last year. He was super excited about what he learned.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think I was on the phone with him for an hour or more one day, and he was just like, "Wow." He's like, "Thanks for sharing everything with me." And wow, yeah. And he was blown away by it. And I was like, "Okay, bud."
Yeah. It's what we do, but it's not what he's used to.
Right.
you know, and so I'm super excited for my buddy Andrew and just everybody. But yeah, I don't know. Ralph, you got anything more on
Well, just
judging or testing that you'd like to speak
well,
to?
Kenny can probably chime in with me, but and you too. But we also have been talking about, you know, this is what the teaser part of it is for the upcoming next or one of the other live streams.
Yeah.
Talking about having some judges workshops to where is nothing but, I shouldn't say nothing. We might have some testing come in, but you know, some judges workshops.
Yeah.
We talked about where we had our first event at ABTA down in Georgia. You know, to where judges can come in and they could also do the advanced
Qualifications and
qualification to where you can move up at one of these judges workshops.
yeah.
And it's, you know, we don't have it all lined out yet, but it'll be geared for the judges, and it's going to be a, you know, the work being the key word, where they're gonna benefit and be able to do some stuff that some that probably be hard to do just out private testing because they don't get enough private testing.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to me because they're going to
I
learn
agree.
more attributes of the, not just go out and make a 90. Well, you know what? Sometimes they turn in 90s that are not acceptable. We gotta make sure everybody understands why we do what we do, they need to do what they do.
Exactly.
And different things and different tactics and different, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not that they didn't do a 90, it's that they were trying to go too fast and
right.
The Garmin update. Well, when we talk about consistency across test lines, that's stuff we look at, and we will throw out a test if it doesn't meet the standards.
Yep.
And sometimes it may meet the standards, but you know, we're reviewing this from a remote location, so you know, there's things like teaching, you know, refresh rates and, you know,
yes,
you know, slowing down at your turn so that there's time for it to update.
Yeah, and see, I get really excited about that stuff because I love that. And Ralph, you said it, the tactics, and Kenny, that's what you're talking about. I mean,
it's simple. Like, for instance, how do you measure the distance away from a track?
Yep.
Well, you don't have but just a few seconds, and somebody could cross a line, get too far, and if you aren't measuring real fast, they can turn and come back and be within the limits, and it's hard to fail. You know, I say fail, hard to have a callback when you can't prove that they've been there.
Yeah. And there's ways that you can, but that's exactly right, Ralph. And it's just these little things, man, I get so excited about it, you know, and sharing the techniques. I have a technique that I use to ensure we get a crispy 90. Joe has a different technique that he uses. And I think it's really cool to get everybody together and share those techniques and expose some of the, you know, the depth of the electronics. Like, Ralph, you're exactly right. How do you measure? And it is not easy to do sometimes. You know, you've got to have that. You've got to know how to do it. And you got to be able to know how to operate it and navigate to it quickly.
And don't think judges don't get nervous, just like a tester does.
Yes.
You know, so, and it's a lot of that stuff that catches people. So the more you do, the better off you are, the less you get nervous, but you're going to get nervous sometimes. And sometimes that's what causes a problem. And so people just need to learn how to get through it, and just like a tester would, a handler,
Yep.
they can think they're just like I've said, shoot, I've run 1,000 tests, or not test lines, 1,000 tracks. So when I got to my first test event, I was as nervous as could be.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
get rid of it. So you got to work through it. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to make somebody not nervous. It just, you got to work through it and make sure you got enough muscle memory to your tactics that you can catch this stuff, because it'll get on you in a heartbeat, especially on a on lead. You got 40 yards. They can cover 40 yards fast.
Pretty quick. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that, we've had some judges workshops in the past, and we've worked through different attributes of the lines. We found stuff that works and doesn't work, and techniques that work and that doesn't work. Like, one of the options is a spiral. You have to set that up properly, or it fails, and the dog just breezes right through it. So there's different things like that, just like the zigzags. Zigzags aren't hard for a dog, but those are the kinds of things that we teach. It's the handler that gets in that, and like, why is my dog going left, right, and then they reset them and.
But pull them up just about the time they're ready to break through the zigzag. They pull them back to do a reset.
Yeah. Yep. The ones that do the best are the ones that just let them figure it out.
Yeah. But the other thing that we do is, we'll call unique, is we're required, and appropriately so, because I've used this several times as a line approver. We're required to have record the line on two separate electronic devices. The Garmin is one of them that is a requirement. The second preferred is dog tracks, but it doesn't have to be. We'll accept Onyx or something like that. But you have to have two electronic mapping systems, and they have to match. And you have to manage both of them. Oh, and by the way, if you're not moving while you're making your wound bed, your dog tracks is accumulating yardage. So if you're thinking that you want to take that starting line all the way out to the max of 499 yards, but you spent too long making a wound bed and you accumulated dog tracks yards, and when you get 499 on Garmin, dog track says 520, that could be a problem. So those nuances of making sure those two men. Oh, and by the way, we're expecting two completely separate, autonomous, not linked in any way electronic devices to match each other. Well, sometimes GPS gets wonky. Sometimes dog tracks gets wonky. It's just electronics. Who knows what kind of interference is going on? So now you've got to discern, because every single line has got to be approved before it's ran, and then every single line has to be approved after it's ran. This is decision by committee, not a sole decision by anybody. So trying to get those two to mesh out and make sure that they match. Oh, and by the way, you got to mark your attributes on both of them. So your attributes have got to match. I mean, we're juggling freaking chainsaws here at times, it seems like. And just getting all of that to coordinate, Ralph, back to you get nervous. You're darn right you do, especially early on when you're juggling all of this stuff. The actual judging part is the easiest part of the whole thing.
Well, the biggest reason we do two different forms is something may go wrong with one or the other.
And I have had that.
And we have a situation in Iowa. One of the judges works and lives pretty much at the military base, and they have GPS blockers.
Yeah.
So his Garmin does not work. Luckily, dog tracks, does some triangulation with towers.
Yep.
So, that's just something we have to work with there. I mean, I've personally been there and used my GPS and see it does not work. So there is other options. And I love dog tracks.
I do too.
You know, it's just such a useful tool. It's easy. You know, when
Well,
I'm laying lines at home, most of the time I'm just running my dog tracks. You know, it'll track your wait times, which is huge.
That,
You know,
that that that's what I use it for. That's why I do it when I'm running my own lines so I know how long it's aged. That's the biggest reason. But I love my Garmin for everything else, man. I just
I
love.
do love my Garmin, but just the
Yeah,
ease of, you
yeah,
know, no one
Dog
today
track
goes anywhere
saved my
without their
butt a
phone.
couple times this year
yeah.
Yeah.
on test lines.
I think I approved a couple of one of them.
Hmm.
Mike, you and I
Ralph
talked
seen
through
one a
a
couple
couple of
weeks
them.
ago. It just
Yeah,
stopped, like completely off.
You know, and
it was
let's talk about apps some more, because you know I don't want to take away from Mike or anyone else that does this, but the the mapping of the lines, it's already been done. We do that well in advance. You know, we look at the property, we lay out the lines. So when a judge gets there, you know, they have access to this shared map, and their lines are color coordinated as which ones they're running. And we always map out extras. So there's planning into everything that we do. And we want to make it fair. We want to make it consistent. I mean, as consistent as possible. You know, we're going to go through what a deer will walk through. You know, don't think you're coming out there to track in an open field. You know, you may go through mud, water, briars. You know, Ralph was with me on one test line. We had to climb, or someone had to climb up this embankment to pull the. I was the tester. I'm sorry. I was the testee. The dog couldn't even climb the embankment that the judge went up. You know,
when the hell
this
did we get Spider-Man as a judge?
yeah, that was a different organization, but
Oh,
you know,
got it.
we went through a ditch with water and came up the other side, and you could not climb up there. The dog couldn't even get up there. But you know, the dog acknowledged that that's the direction that it went. And you know, the judge says, "Hey, I know this really isn't fair. You've indicated it went that way. The dog indicated it went that way. Yes, I went that way. I'm gonna climb up there. I'm gonna pull you up."
Okay.
But you know what? A deer would go up that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and so if a deer would go there, there's, you know, we're as judges, we're going to lay lines through there.
Oh, by the way, deer go in open fields too, Mullins. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. No, but you're absolutely right. You know, in terms of mapping the lines. Hell, I do that on my practice line sometimes, and you know, electronics. You have to use them today. I mean, think back to when the UBT started, and you didn't have all of this stuff. You have to wonder how they were marking their lines. They had to be, you know, putting thumbtacks on the back of trees or something. You know, can you imagine how that must have been? I can't.
So we've painted backs of trees. A tactic that I used in the past is take a machete and actually put a notch, like a subtle mark in the backs of the trees.
Okay.
So you couldn't see it going forward, but as a judge, you can turn around and look, and hand draw maps. You know, there's different features where, you know, maybe there was a, a rock at this one point that you made a turn at.
Yeah.
You know, and you notate that.
So some young listener just said, well, hand draw a map. I don't understand.
Every
Yeah,
track I lay is a blind track to me by the time I get back to running it.
I know. I'm largely the same way, Mike.
I'm like, I didn't go through this. Where are you going, Declan? Oh my God, I did go through this. Who the heck
When you
laid this thing?
pull up the Garmin. Oh yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah, I did go through that. Ugh. What was I thinking? Now,
Yeah.
I take a lot of great pride in laying lines, and whether it be for testing or like the people I train and work with. we go through some stuff, and I take a lot of pride in laying a messed up line for people, if that's what you
The
want to call it.
challenging line. Let's just call it a challenging line.
Okay,
We got some thickets this week, don't we?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's funny, man. This, yeah. Now I'm excited about the judging show and what we talked about, because I love talking about this stuff, and I don't want to give it all away and get all into it right now because, but man, that's so fun. In the workshops, Bob might be ready to go. We're having workshops sometime late winter. Get ourselves out of this cold north and get down into some pleasant south for
Hey,
some.
us Florida guys go to Pennsylvania. You Pennsylvania guys can come to Florida.
Well, when you come to Pennsylvania in January and February, then it matters.
Well, when you come down here in July and August.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there. Remember, I did the military thing. I've been there. Don't want
Yeah,
I'll go back.
I think I was telling Kenny when we started talking about the workshop and the time of year. I says, man, for me that's a perfect time of year.
Right.
I'm about my seasonal affective disorder is off scale high at that point. We up here in the north are not doing much. It's cold, it's crappy out. A lot of us have 3 foot of snow. Yeah. What a better time to go to, some pleasant 60-degree weather and hang out with cool people doing cool stuff.
Hey,
it was a long winter this past one.
When we were running Camo's season line I think we were in February.
Yeah, you were.
It was snowing.
It was?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Florida. Well, that's okay. A little bit of
yeah. I mean, it wasn't accumulating, but it was snowing.
It was spitting, yeah. Well, you know what though? That's still a huge win for us, because I'm sure it was 40 and not 22.
Hey, it ggets in the teens in my house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
Wind chills of -50.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Come get on the airboat on one of those 15, 18-degree mornings with me.
No. Oh God, no.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, Calvin, who lives way up in the northwest corner of Michigan, said, Matt, you don't know what snow is.
Right.
And I'm glad that I don't know what his kind of snow is. He probably just lost the last bit of snow in the shadowy parts of the woods last week.
I can even tell this year compared to last year, the woods out there, they're behind from what we had this year. They're behind. It's not as greened up as what it was last year at this exact time.
Oh, we're behind here.
Yeah.
We're like 3 to 4 weeks behind.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not as wet.
Oh, it's definitely wet today. I was out. I had to find dry places today for the dogs I worked.
Yeah, we had 2.5 inches of rain here in the last 2 days.
Yeah, it rained a lot over the last few days.
Yeah.
I think we had over 2 inches in a day span or so this past week. But no, we'll be fine. Everybody bring your boots.
It's going to be fine. You guys are going to have a great event, Mike. And you talk about your event anxiety, and I get it. But, dude, you guys have got it so locked down. You've got the attendances and not, man, it's just – and you know what? The worst thing that can happen is not much. So what? So you have to make an adjustment. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, there's a couple little things I still have to do throughout this week, just some little things. And other than that, it's like, okay, let's get here and get this going.
You guys, it's gonna be a great event. Let's snag a couple of comments here. All the what's up, fellas. Good evening, guys. Thank you for chiming in. I know, we got 11 views and 9 likes and just a few comments. And it's just that time of year. It's a holiday. It's 80 degrees in the north for a change, and sun shining. So Brenda Alexander says, do you use cow blood on your test lines? I couldn't find the answer on your website.
No, we use deer blood.
Oh, crap.
Mike uses turkey blood.
I just bottled up 1.5 gallons. Yes, cow's blood on test line.
No, we use deer blood.
Okay, it's deer blood.
So we're gonna have to bring some deer blood. I take it.
Guess I'll go find some roadkill.
Nah, seriously, if you need blood, I got blood.
I got blood.
Okay. Brenda also says she loves the tracker app. Calvin Dennis chimes in, says the elite ain't no joke and a hell of a lot of fun to judge. Yeah, Calvin was part of the Michigan Elite line. That was the first one he ran, and it was fun. Travis, yeah, I know, man. Sorry I can't make the PA or Michigan event, but we'll be attending ASAP. Love to meet y'all. And learn a little through your eyes. So yeah, Travis, we'll certainly you'll get to one when you can, dude. But we're always here to chat with you. Craig Reeder, is it normal in your experience for Garmin to be off 10 to 15 yards? It's
No.
updated, and the last couple of tracks it's been off from where I walked. Dog tracks was more accurate.
Garmin should not be 10 to 15 yards off. In
I've
fact,
not seen that.
there's a feature. If you watch my video on YouTube, Craig, where you can change a setting, you can see the accuracy of your Garmin. If it's off by more than what that's showing, which is typically 3 to 6 feet.
It's I think it says 10 feet, which is, like what's that, 3.5 yards or something. Mine always is within 10 feet.
Yeah, if it's more than that, you've got something going on.
I think I agree with that. So Craig, if you drop me or Kenny a note if you're not sure how to set it up to where it shows your Garmin accuracy, but that's important. Or I recommend, for judges, it's very important. But need to ensure that that's displaying so you can see it. And then Jared says, did you update your handheld and collar?
Yeah, typically that's what it is. People update their handhelds and not their collars. And the other thing is, do not update them on Wi-Fi. Whether it says that you can or not, it does not update properly on Wi-Fi, and you'll be 3, 4, 5, 6 updates behind.
Yeah, and it'll tell you too what and you can go to Garmin's website and see what version they're at, and you can make sure that you're set up that way. But the collar, you do have to hook up to see where you're at.
And they did just have a big collar update. Within the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so?
I think so. What's that, Bob?
I better get that done because mine hasn't been updated since fall.
Oh yeah, update them. Hey, you know what? Great point. Judges, all judges, get your stuff updated. If you're going into PA, make sure that your collars and all of your equipment are updated to the latest versions. Now, look, I got to tell you this too. That 8.3 or whatever version it is where it allows sharing, I would really encourage you guys to look at that. And I haven't been with somebody yet to where I can test it, but you can now share. If you lay a line, if a judge lays a line on his Garmin, he can share that line with his apprentice so he can actually see the overlay where before you couldn't. If you have that 8 point whatever level update, you can share all of your waypoints and the line and everything. So check that out. Somebody play with that as you get together. Maybe if you get whoever's getting there, Thursday or something. See if you can do that, because I think that could be a huge benefit, a big game changer in terms of.
Joe and I actually did that on a track last year, and he had a call back. Yeah, he had a call back, and I had to tell him, "Hey, they're where they need to be," because his was telling him one thing, and
yeah, good job, Ralph.
I had it on my GPS, and yeah.
Yeah, it was. You were able to do it before, Matt. It just wasn't as user friendly as what the new update's supposed to be.
So you could actually share a line.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that because I was trying to figure it out. So anyway, the way the update is, yeah, it's real easy to do. And Steve Snell put out a video on it. If anybody wants to drop me a note, I saved it and I'll share you the link. He did it on Facebook. It's pretty easy, and it's just pretty cool. So next time I'm with somebody that has an alpha and has it updated, I want to try that.
You can do it on dog tracks as well. You can share a line.
Yeah, and I knew you could do it on Onyx. I think the dog tracks. Do you have to have the premium version of dog tracks, or can you do it on?
I'm not sure, but
Onyx-
every
Onyx
judge
has
gets
to be
that.
separate
Just
account.
email them.
You have to have a separate account on Onyx to do it. Because
I
that's
know,
what I do
okay.
with my wife.
Yeah, no, I know you can't do it with a free version. I have the cheap because I'm a cheapskate. I have the cheap version of Onyx, and I can share a line there. I've never done it on dog tracks, though. I'm gonna have to check into that. I like doing that. You know what Garmin needs to do, Kenny? We need to have a show and get some Garmin people on. I mean, legit Garmin people. I was looking at it last night, thinking about events. I was looking at the Garmin XLs. I wish they had a way, and maybe there is. Maybe you know. I wish there was a way that we could broadcast or be via HDMI cable or Bluetooth or something. You can broadcast to a TV.
Yep.
Because that's something I want to do is broadcast the Garmin and send somebody out on a line, and all of us gather around my 50-inch TV and break that down and watch this person run that line live.
Yeah, I'm working on that for next year.
Okay. Yeah, that would be so. I think it'd be so much fun. So you can do that.
Yeah, you can watch it on the TV
in real time by
Yep.
broadcasting your handheld to and it's done through Bluetooth.
Well, there's also you can do a Bluetooth and USB.
Okay, I did see USB for charging and data transfer, but I didn't know if it would display like a second monitor.
I believe you can. I got to double check that, but I know you can Bluetooth.
Yeah, we got to find a way to make that happen because I think that would be a big. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I think it'd be a big hit. That's just my opinion, but because I like it doesn't mean everybody likes it. I don't need to project my likes on everybody else, but I think it could be really fun, and we could really have some real in the moment live discussion, watching somebody run a track without being behind them.
I can read my dogs on that Garmin, and I know Ralph can too. We can read our dogs on a Garmin as good as someone that's looking at their dog from behind a 30-foot lead.
I agree. You know, and that is. I think it'd be so much fun to do that, and it just again underscores how useful the Garmin or electronics or GPS system can be in training. You know, it's far better than just knowing where your dog's at on a line. You know, whether it's on lead or off lead, or can be far more than just a security blanket if you're on lead in case your dog gets away. Man, you can do so much with it, and it can really make you better.
Hey, and knowing how to read that Garmin can make the difference in a recovery or not.
I will tell you that is 100% the truth because I did it on my sport dog before I had my Garmin. I was ready to call a track, And I said, hey guys, come here, look, let me show you. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. We are advancing in a direction. And it really didn't feel like it. We kept going. 10 minutes later, we were standing over the deer. I had in Oklahoma, and I'm not, there were a couple of lines where they had callbacks. And if we were able to been a little more in tune, and that was part of the feedback, just talking about being in tune with the electronics and knowing what the straight lines mean versus the spaghetti lines, it could have helped them reacquire and perhaps been successful on the test. So it is so much more than a $1,200 security blanket. So much more.
Well, there's times where a dog will get hung up and like they just lose it and they get hung up, and you can follow the pattern of what that line was doing, and get them through that in the direction that deer's been traveling.
Yeah.
And sometimes all you got to do is get them through another 40, 50, 60 yards, and they'll pick it back up and line it out. And if you didn't have that, you didn't know how to read that, on lead or not, you could have left that deer in the woods.
100%. I'm a humongous advocate for it. Craig, maybe a good Garmin tutorial in Michigan. Deal. Done. We'll do it.
Ralph, how many times have you had recoveries that way?
Just every weekend.
Yeah.
Garmin is I don't know how, it's just an integral tool that just absolutely, it's got to be, it's got to be with you, and you use it to the level that it's not just security. Obviously it is safety, but it is definitely what we use. I mean, there's so many little things that if you see a dog doing it 300 yards away, we know what that, I call it a death hook. If they start and then they've been lining out for 500 yards and then all of a sudden they make just a little hook, I get excited. Next thing you know, I call it the death hook, because when a deer goes to die, a lot of times they just turn back on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or you're sitting sometimes it's when you're right with them and you're in chest high briars and crap, and then all of a sudden that dog does something and you just say, okay, let's cut over. There's little things that they 100%. Just, one of my dogs does circles around, or camo. She'll start circling a deer. Well, it ain't always just, we're going to find it because of it. But if you know how to read your Garmin and you know how that thing looks when your dogs do certain things, it tells you the difference in, I'm just going to go barreling into the area where the dog is. Oh, heck no. If you see her start circling, she's telling me at that point when she goes to circle, the deer's laying down and it's obviously not moving, but it's alive.
Yep.
Well, guess what that tells me? I got to move to where my scent is not going to blow in there and just crash the party. I got to move and get myself around to where I'm coming upwind from them to where they can't smell me. Well, that you just got to know, and every dog's different. So you got to know what the heck all this is showing you on that Garmin, not to mention, I got to move around. It might be a pond or thicket, and I got to move around it, and you got to check all this stuff out on that Garmin. So it's like you're wearing a set of those live Garmin goggles while you're looking at it, but you're moving through the woods, just checking it out. And it's cool when you get of knowing how to use it, knowing your dogs, and you put it all together. Shoot, there's not, or down here we can run. Obviously, we're running off lead, so sometimes when we're chasing something in Georgia, you can run them, and during deer season. So
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a situation to where you're watching that Garmin. I got a dog that 400 or 500 yards, and if she can't catch it, she's going to stop. Well, what happens when she doesn't stop? Well, you better be on your game. It's now you got to get with them, and you got to get in there after them, and you don't want to be too far away because you don't know how lively that deer is. It's already been, quite a while. So now
Yeah.
you're having to get in there to dispatch pretty quick, or crap like last year happened. It's stuff that Garmin. Whoo, Lord! Not to mention, if you're on foot, you got to get there in a hurry. Well, it's hard to get there in a hurry when you got dogs running ahead of you. And so getting back out, street angles, all that stuff. Well, now you got a pond or a small river you got to get around or across. Man, you got to know them Garmin's like the back of your hand.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I've been including a lot of that even for us guys up here on lead and showing people how it can assist you and showing my examples of it actually working. I run Onyx and my Garmin on tracks, and there's certain things that I do with the Onyx, especially whenever I'm in the multiple, get out there and get a little goofy. We get a little lost in the sauce.
You're always
kind of
goofy.
tell what direction you're training, and it helped recover a few deer. And I've included that in some of my training that I've been doing with people on how to read this.
Yeah, it's an integral part, and without my Garmin in training or on a real track, I would be absolutely lost. It is just it's every bit for me as critical as the dog, or as close to as important as the dog as it can be. It's just how much I've come to depend on it, and not that it's a crutch. It is just an extremely useful tool.
Tricks of the trade.
Well, guys, I hate to cut it short, but I'm going to have to hop off of here.
Yeah.
I will catch you guys on the next one.
Kenny, before you leave, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
You said not to update on Wi-Fi on the Garmin.
Yep.
What about my collars? My collars are set to update if they're on connected to Wi-Fi.
No, you want to do it on the computer also.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Yep. All right. Sorry, guys, but I have to run.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to wrap it up anyway, Kenny. We'll talk to you, pal.
Right, thank you.
Yep.
See you later.
Well, guys, yeah, I think it probably is a good time to wind it down on this holiday Monday. Man, I didn't expect to dive into the Garmin conversation, but man, did I love that. That was fun. Maybe that's a whole nother topic at some point, a whole show, but so more to come on the judges retreat / workshop and some fun stuff there. We'll do a whole show on that. Mike, we'll look forward to hearing. We'll do some version, at least a segment of a show for recapping PA. Love to hear the testing stories and stuff. And then
it's go time.
It's go time, man. That's for sure. We're in the heart of it. So, any closing thoughts, Bob or Ralph or Mike, before we sign off?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Nope.
All right.
All right, man. Well, I guess that's it. That's a good show. Thanks for everybody for. Hey, wait a minute. Aaron Birch, how can I set up a private test? Aaron, I don't know what state you're in. Feel free to shoot me a note. You can go to UnitedBloodTrackers.org. What's that?
What? Where?
Oh my God! Oh, Ralph. Yes, thank you. AmericanBloodTrackers.org. I've done that before. Louisiana. Oh, okay. So you're in Louisiana. Yeah, there's Emily's in northern Louisiana. I don't know what part, but you can get a hold of a judge or reach out to me, and I can get you in touch with somebody in Louisiana, depending on where you're at. And you may have to travel a little bit, but we can hook you up with a private test with a judge, and they can walk you through how to get signed up for that. So give us a shout, buddy, or go to AmericanBudTrackers.org and you click on the testing tab, and you can find a judge there. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thanks a lot. Great discussion, fun stuff, and we'll look forward to the follow-ups. And thanks for joining, guys. More the good, less the bad. We'll talk to you soon.
See
Good
you.
night.
God bless.